Okay, after like 30 minutes, I think that you can finally hear me, and I've lost my coffee in the process. Okay, I found my coffee. I thought like while I cleaned up around a little bit, I would kind of chat and see if anything like interesting comes of it. I have been struggling so much to film. Well, I've been struggling so much to put out a video. I have been oddly critical of myself. I would watch my footage back and kind of pick it apart, which you really can't do if you're gonna do something like this. You really have to just be immediately comfortable. It was easy at first, but it's been getting increasingly harder for some reason, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but that's kind of how my fears develop. I do it a couple times and it's super easy at first. I think I just like dwell on it and I ruminate and I think about it too much to the point where I've developed a fear that never existed in the first place. I gotta move this. I have been trying to plan out my videos a little bit more, so I'm not just rambling, and so that I can make the most of my time when filming. I think what happened as a result is that I started to speak and like act very unnatural in front of the camera, which I'm newer to this, so I'm trying to remain like nice to myself. But I do think that giving myself a script, while it helped my time in filming, and also helped me be a little bit more structured, even just like in my files and the clips that I have to organize. I just don't think that I liked how I acted in front of the camera whenever I had a script, or like I could feel that I was unnatural, or at least more unnatural than if I'm just rambling. There's my little ramble, just something I wanted to get off my chest a little bit. Also, I'm really excited because I think today I am going to register my business, which might be a little preemptive. I'm gonna insert a clip of like what I'm seeing right now. She's so silly. She's also like, why is this cord in my bed? I hope my camera's recording. We're good. I almost had a freak out moment. I've done that so many times as well. Can you hear that? I wonder if you can hear that. Let's get a little light on the subject. I'm gonna turn on some lights. Oh, you literally can see one light. Perfect. Isn't it looking good? Cleans up fast, huh? I'm gonna turn off the camera and finish up because I'm getting distracted by you guys. There's not much left to do. I wanted to invite you all on a thought experiment journey. This is kind of an ongoing theme to my life as of late, and I think maybe it's just a season of life that I'm in, but I'm constantly questioning now my personal systems as well as like societal systems and everything in between. And I did land on a bit of a thought experiment that I thought would be interesting to share with you, and I'm sure it's nothing new, but something that I felt compelled to share, specifically relating to goals and reaching your goals, New Year's resolutions, everything related to that. And I know it is April, but I think that you can set goals all year long. And also, you know, if you have fallen off your New Year's resolutions or never started them to begin with, like, I think that you would know that for sure by now. This is how I have kind of been exploring that topic, because I think it's so easy to feel disappointed in yourself, especially if it seems like over and over you are falling short. But I kind of want to flip that line of thinking. Instead of thinking, what's wrong with me? You know, why can't I be disciplined enough to reach this goal or whatever the hurdle might be, but rather take time to evaluate the goal itself, explore whether or not this goal is working for you. Now, when it comes to goals, I have slowly over time, because of my relationship with failing and restarting and retrying goals, I kind of trained my brain in a way to think about goals as something negative and unobtainable and distant. And so I thought about the language that I'm using with myself. And I think that language is so important and impactful, and it can really change your perspective. And it's something that I have really struggled with and learned more about. It's something that really seems minuscule, but once you start practicing, you realize that it's something much bigger. So, for example, goals. So when I approach goals now, I think of them as something else. So this is the first experiment you can do to help you better reach your goals, but really anything. You can do it with anything. For me, goals is a big one. This is going to be entirely up to you, the words that you choose to replace in your daily life. But for me, with goals, I chose intent or intentions. To me, it's just a word that feels much more personal. It feels tangible and close. And so that's how I've been retraining my brain. Yeah, so if you have something in your life you're struggling with, start with something that is seemingly small, like your language, and you'll be really surprised at how your perspective and your mind changes. I never finished my vlog the other day. I know my posture is like crazy right now. Ooh, okay, perfect. It is a new day. I've been editing this video and realized that I look at the monitor like 80% of the time. Sorry for that. It's a new addition to my setup. So I'm sure that'll get better with time and hopefully get better in this video. I'm using my phone for microphone right now. Because my mic is dead. Also didn't finish filming because I got super sick, but I had this whole weekend planned for my partner because it was his 30th birthday, and so I wanted it to be really fun. I know he doesn't really like to do stuff for himself, so I wanted to do something for him. So I booked this like surprise weekend trip. Nothing super elaborate, but fun nonetheless, and he had to go without me. And the symptoms that I have now, this congestion, was not related to the symptoms that I had. So double whammy. I think I have a cold as well on top of whatever that was. Sorry if I sound super congested, I'm just under the weather. But I was starting to get kind of upset about the video, like I would have to scrap it and start all over. I've been struggling to put a video together. I just thought, you know, I need to stop being hard on myself, and it's perfectly fine if I stop where I was and pick up later when I feel better. Hey, sweetheart. But I'm finally feeling a little bit better, and I have a lot that I want to get done today, so I thought that we could do it together. It's kind of rainy and dreary outside, but it's supposed to be hot, so the vibes are weird. I'm just gonna go with the cold and rainy vibes and be a cozy, warm little hermit in my studio today. Okay, so we're mic'd up again. I just listened back to the audio and I'm sorry. I really sound so sick, so I hope that it's not bothering anyone too much. I didn't get to officially do it the other day, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and register my business. I'm so excited. It's kind of a little bit expensive to do, so I think it's like $150, but if I figure out how to do taxes right, I could probably write it off, right? Right now I have to write a business activity description. I am finished. It was relatively difficult, but only made more difficult because in the middle I was hitting the back button a bunch and then I accidentally hit cancel because I was going back, and then didn't notice that the button had changed to cancel, and I then clicked cancel. But I just did it all over again very quickly because I then knew, most of what I was literally at the end, like quite literally at the very end of the application. I saw that something was maybe wrong, so I wanted to go back and check, and I couldn't find it. So it is submitted and received. I will hear back in like 5 to 10 business days on if it is accepted or not. I did go ahead and get an employer identification number because apparently that's better. Apparently you will probably need that if you are if you want a separate bank account, which I do because I'm doing a LLC. The reason I chose to do an LLC is because, and again, this is not advice, this is not legal advice, okay? But I personally think an LLC is better because I feel like I hear so many horror stories on the internet of artists maybe making fan art, which I'm not a fan art artist, but just to protect myself because I'm a brand new business owner, so I don't really know how to do things, and an LLC is supposed to protect your personal assets should anything happen. So that's also even for like contracts. Should I ever receive contracted work and then maybe something happen and the company that contracted me tries to sue me, hopefully that will never happen, but yeah, I'm an LLC, so to my understanding, my personal assets are not at risk. There's kind of really no reason other than financial. However, I didn't know this, but my state, there was a bill passed in 2016 that if you start a business under the age of 30, the application fee is waived. So here I thought I was about to drop like $200 on this application, but the bulk of the cost was waived. So that's amazing. I'm relieved that is over because that's kind of been stopping me from doing a lot of things because I just felt like I wasn't legally set up. I still am not legally set up, so I can't actually sell anything, but I think I'll work on potentially a website. I was just gonna sell on Etsy at first, but then I was like, I could make a website, and I don't know. I'll think about that one a little bit more. Very exciting stuff happening today. I do have a headache now. It was slightly stressful. Really hope that it's accepted and that I can move forward with everything else. Also, let's check up on the journal. It's actually still wet, but it looks so much better. I need to get charms. I don't have any charms. In celebration of getting a new ink color, I quickly designed this print so that I could quickly carve something and test out the ink. I also swear it is always the stuff that I plan out the least that I end up loving the most. Loved this design. It kind of had a meaning that was close to my heart, which is rare. A lot of the time my art doesn't necessarily have a meaning beyond just me enjoying myself, but yeah, so this is a rare occasion. Before I tell you all what this print means for me, I wanted to revisit my earlier topic of goals. It's important that we realize when goals aren't meant for us, and I think this is kind of like easier said than done. If you've ever been down on yourself for not meeting goals, over and over and over, that might not be a bad thing, because you have really tried something and it's really not working out. So now you can kind of reevaluate and decide, is that something I want to continue working towards? Is that a goal that is meant for me right now? Or should I move on and try something else? It's kind of like a you never know until you try sort of thing. And so you've not wasted your time, you've not disappointed yourself, you've just learned more about yourself. You know, maybe this is a hot take and maybe I will feel differently about everything I've said honestly, about goals in 5 years, but right now I feel like if you don't feel like you can really pick out something that you want to work towards or that you have a lot of passion about, I think that's okay. Like, I think that you're allowed to just live. You don't have to constantly push yourself or work towards something new in the same way. Like, your goals don't have to be something elaborate and massive and, you know, impressive, most importantly, to other people. You know, if your goal is to like fold your laundry today, or if your goal is to get outside this weekend, I think that's okay. And you don't have to push yourself to have goals that, again, aren't meant for you. Oh wait, I'm supposed to tell you what the print means. It has scissors, and this hand for me represents my working self, because scissors are very utilitarian. They do a lot of work, they get a lot done. They're kind of an office supply. And the bottom with the quilt square is supposed to represent my art self. The two are kind of bound together, but the work self is on top because yeah, she kind of dictates everything. This idea came about because I'm struggling right now with, you know, having a full-time job and not being able to express myself creatively all the time. Some of you are probably like, I would love to have a full-time job and I can't. And so I understand and I'm very grateful for the fact that I do have one. But at the same time, I am honestly very sad. My work self kind of controls my creative self. I chose scissors on purpose because maybe one day my work self will have the capability or the opportunity to cut my creative self free and let her roam. And I hope to have these prints available on my shop whenever that opens. So yeah, so I guess this has been part 1 of my small business series. I already have announcements and developments for part 2 and have already started filming that. So we're on a roll, folks, and I hope that you will follow me along on this journey. And I thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that you are able to do something creative today, tomorrow, this week, just sometime this month, whatever you're able to manage. I will see you all very, very soon. Bye.